This is how China is destroying the US. You may think that America is untouchable because it has the largest army in the world, right? What if I tell you that China is creating a silent but effective and rapid way to crack the US from inside like a parasite? Yes, you've heard it right. A plan that doesn't require any bullet or direct threat to the White House, but that is equally, if not even more catastrophic.
No! God, please, no!
China is literally sabotaging the United States. And the other Western countries will follow very soon. If international conflicts are the ones that usually cause more losses, it's also true that nothing cracks a country like an internal issue. Throughout history, we have seen many attempts of destroying foreign governments with the use of local rebel forces to prevent the direct intervention of an external country, keeping the troops at home, saving money, and a potential international escalation. One famous example was the American support to Al-Qaeda to fight against the Soviet troops in Afghanistan. But China is even more subtle and strategic. Using an historical cultural weakness of the US, China is winning this chess game using fentanyl. Wait, what? I know, you are confused, and you are supposed to be because the strategy that I'm about to show you is not supposed to be known, obviously. For the few of you that don't know what F is, here's a very brief explanation. F is an opioid originally created and commercialized in the 60s as a cure for the most extreme types of pain. The thing that makes F extremely dangerous is its potency. In fact, is 50 to 100 times stronger than heroin, reducing the overdose amount from 30 milligrams to only 2 or 3. Obviously, this means that it's ridiculously addictive, creating a lethal mix. This substance was added to the already existing opioid crisis in the US by OxyContin since the 90s. Another thing to keep in mind is the multitude of ways to consume F, like lollipops, mouth sprays, or skin patches, facilitate the consumption from ill patients, but also making this drug more harmful, reducing the entry barrier compared to other street drugs. At this point, you may be asking, okay, I get it, this is terrible. But how's China involved in all this? F, also called China Girl, was originally made just in the US, and as I said before, commercialized to severely ill patients. But at some point, everything changed forever. Around 2013, the companies that were legally producing the F started to push as a cure of every pain, even a light headache, to engage in a brother audience and skyrocket their sales.
Some patients may be afraid of taking opioids because they're perceived as too strong or addictive. But that is far from actual fact. Less than 1% of patients taking opioids actually become addicted.
This process was possible by weak national regulations and a lack of system of registration that allowed customers to potentially have infinite doctors prescribing the opioids. This obviously went pretty bad, very quickly destroying families with normal people that all of a sudden became addicted to one of the strongest drugs without even noticing it. At this point, China, observing the big market demand, started its own production.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yes, because it's always communist, except when money is involved. The Asian country couldn't directly commercialize the F to the US because it would have turned regular companies into narcos, but they found a way around. These Chinese companies, responsible for 90% of all F in the US according to the DEA, just have to produce the precursors or ingredients of the F and ship them legally to Mexico. Then it is not their business anymore.
What happened?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know. I just showed up and I don't know.
The Mexicans' cartels, in particular in Sinaloa, the zone now regulated by the Sons of El Chapo, take care of the manufacturing of the drug and the distributions in the US. You may think that this is not as bad as it really is. Just in 2023, 112,000 people lost their lives because of this, making it the leading cause of death of people aged 18 to 45, the equivalent of one full 9/11 every 3 weeks. These numbers are skyrocketing lately, and the projections for the following years don't look bright, but the worst part is still to come. Mexico is known for being a sort of Disneyland of drugs because of the large exodus of Americans that travel through the southern borders to buy prescription drugs that otherwise couldn't afford without insurance in the US.
It's just a strange request. This drug in this amount and a pack of syringes. It's just a little weird. Yeah.
The Latinos cartels counterfeits these drugs and more often than not cut them with fentanyl to increase the dependency of the customers. Now we have opened Pandora's box. Let's get to the bottom of this. While in the US, a lot of overdoses come because of drug cuts with F. In Mexico, the problem is even bigger. Cartels are currently replacing legit prescription drugs with their counterfeit ones in official pharmacies, while the customers are completely unaware of the risks they're taking. While in the US, there's no official proof of counterfeit drugs in pharmacies at the moment, it's relevant the amount in the black market, causing endless losses. While Mexico denies any involvement in the opioids crisis, China says that this is an American problem caused by the nation's weak regulations and the drug culture. What's your take on it? Congratulations for coming to the end. If you like this video, why don't you check out this one, where I explain how Argentina is facing the biggest change in a century.